How's the real estate market? It's confused. Inventory has spiked and buyer demand is at record-breaking lows. Plus, many flooded homes have flooded the market. We're going to talk about all these topics and how they're altering our Tampa Bay real estate market and provide you strategies if you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home in the upcoming months. I'm Rachel Sartain Tenpenny. I'm the broker owner of the Tenpenny Collection and I'm a real estate nerd. I've been selling real estate in Tampa Bay for over 20 years and I've successfully opened 4 real estate brokerages, managed over 500 realtors, and we've closed over $1 billion annually in sales. If you're looking for real estate information that you won't find anywhere else, you're in the right place. Let's get started by looking at national housing data just to give us a broader picture of what's going on. So I mentioned earlier that buyer demand is at a record-breaking low. So what that's based off of is in 2024, there were fewer homes sold than on record since 1995. The crazy part of that is we sold fewer homes in 2024 than we did in the 2008-2009 financial crisis. So where are all of the buyers and why are they not purchasing homes right now? There are 2 factors that have caused home buyers to stop buying, and they shouldn't come as any surprise. They are price and interest rate. So let's talk about price first. During the pandemic years, we saw home buyers do something we've never seen before, and they were willing to pay above the appraised value. Not just slightly. We saw home buyers paying $10,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 more than what the home was actually worth. And this drove prices through the roof. So from 2020 to 2021 in Tampa Bay, we saw a 27% year-over-year appreciation. And then from 2021 to 2022, we saw another 30% appreciation in pricing. This caused prices to really skyrocket and they have not come down. Also, if we look at interest rates, in May of 2022, interest rates went up to about 5%. Now, across the country, there are 60% of homeowners that have an interest rate of 4% or less. These homeowners are what we call locked in to that interest rate because they don't want to give it up. At the end of 2022, interest rates went around 7% and they've hovered there since that time. So let's see how that's actually impacting today's home buyers. We're going to use an example of a $400,000 mortgage. If I have a $400,000 mortgage at a 4% interest rate, my monthly payment is about $1,900. Now, if we take that same $400,000 mortgage and we put it in today's market at a 7% interest rate, the payment goes up $650. What does that mean for you? Well, in order to afford that additional $650, you have to make an additional $32,000 annually. So as you can see, pricing and interest rates have caused buyers to put the brakes on. Of course, not all buyers have stopped buying. Some people still need to buy a home. So what are these buyers looking for? What are they purchasing? Well, the majority of them are purchasing 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes in Tampa Bay that have about 1,600 to 1,700 square feet, and they're spending between $500,000 and $600,000. Another important factor is they're buying homes in non-flood zones. Last month of the homes sold, 70% of them were in non-flood zones. So that is a major attraction in our Tampa Bay area. So what if you want to sell your home? Well, obviously you can't move the property out of a flood zone, but there are things that you can do to help attract buyers. My best tip for you is to have an independent 4-point inspection done. Now I'm going to tell you what this is, but let me tell you why it's so important. The buyer's insurance company is going to require a clean 4-point inspection. If they don't have a clean inspection, it might kill the deal. So what is this 4-point inspection? Well, it's the insurance company looking at the 4 major components of the home, being electrical, plumbing, roof, and HVAC system. I'm recommending that you have one done before you put the home on the market. Once you have the inspection done, you'll see if anything is checked as an unsatisfactory item. Those items you need to repair before you put the home on the market. This will prevent a buyer from going under contract and then later having to cancel the contract because they cannot get insurance. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you have your 4-point inspection done and the roof is at the end of its useful life. Many sellers think they can just give a credit for this roof, but that's not the case. The buyer is going to have to get extra insurance to cover the purchase in order to get the roof replaced. This is going to drive up their monthly payment. And as we just discussed, price and interest rate is already pushing the buyer to the max. So as the seller, if you really want to attract a buyer to your property and close on it, you're going to have these things done before you go on the market. Lastly, let's talk about the flood damaged properties that have flooded our market. In Pinellas County, there were over 28,000 homes that were impacted by Hurricane Helene on September 26. It's been nearly 5 months and many homeowners are still trying to figure out what to do. Should they repair their home or should they sell it as is? The homes that have sold at land value and it has pulled down the average sales price. Plus, just last week, it came to light that the city of St. Petersburg has open codes cases on nearly 11,000 homes. So what are open codes cases and how will it impact our property owners? An open codes case is an investigation to determine if a violation of the city codes has taken place. In this case, has somebody remodeled their home after the flood without pulling permits? If you're one of these homeowners that did your remodeling work without pulling a permit, just so you could move back in, we understand, and so does the city. Just go into the city and pull an after-the-fact permit. Will an open codes case impact your ability to sell the property? Not necessarily, but an investigation, if the investigation finds out that you did work without pulling a permit, this will lead to a code violation. A code violation that's not remedied will lead to a lien on the property. The city of St. Petersburg is not just doing this to protect our FEMA funds, they're also doing this to protect future families from purchasing homes that weren't remodeled properly. The day after Hurricane Helene, I walked down the street because my car was flooded, so I had to walk. And I met a lady and her teenage daughter who had their duffel bags. And they had walked out of the waters of Shore Acres, were sitting on the sidewalk waiting for somebody to pick them up. I asked what street they lived on, and she said Denver Street. She told me she had purchased the home 9 months prior. Homes on Denver Street have already flooded twice, so that was the third time. And I don't know if she was an unsuspecting victim or not, but it's things like this, scenarios like this, that the city is trying to protect future homeowners from. They don't want other people to go through this devastation as well, if it can be prevented. There are so many questions out there, and there are so many factors that are impacting our flooded real estate market. If you have questions on what's going on and what your property value is or what you should do, please reach out to us. Time will hopefully provide clarity, and that is why we do this market report on a monthly basis. So please make sure and subscribe so you get all the latest information.